Nation Uncensored.
Welcome back to Cyber Uncensored. Oh, if you could hear the things they say behind camera. My name is Nigel. I am going to be your storyteller for this evening, and tonight, once again, we are returning to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles Second Citizens. And I am joined this evening again by our 4 freshly dead vampires. So before we get started, I will reiterate again as a disclaimer, this is intended for a mature audience. These are going to cover, especially tonight, are going to cover some very dark themes and topics that you should not be watching if you are under the age of 18. That being said, let's go ahead and meet our vampires. George?
Hi, I'm George Lee, and tonight I am playing Ash Hargrave, the Malkavian. I'm sorry if I sound like I have braces. I have fangs in. We'll see how long they last. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Captain?
Hey, I'm Captain. I don't have fangs in, so I don't sound like I have braces, and I'm going to be playing Aaron Strangelove, who is our Tremere.
Petra?
Hello, I'm Petra. I don't have fangs either, but I do have chocolate milk, and I am very excited for today's session.
And Shig?
Hi, I'm Shig. I do have fangs in, but I'm a skilled speaker, so I will be fine. And
Wow.
I am playing Renee Winslow, the Toreador.
We'll have to discuss that out of camera.
So,
Shade,
Shade is being thrown early. Great.
On brand for the Toreador, honestly.
Fang shaming.
You met a kindred.
On my level.
You know what's at stake. The story is about to get really dark. So, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Okay,
Captain.
we're in. And we will open our scene once again, like we did last week, with Jim. This lovely little home, and his 2 beautiful girls. In the middle of the night, one of Jim's girls starts screaming. So, in a good dad, he wakes up, he grabs a baseball bat by his nightstand, and he runs straight for his daughter's room, ready to beat the crap out of any invader that might be there. But when he goes into her room, there's no one there. It's empty, but his daughter's crying, and she's complaining about a monster in the closet. So Jim bravely walks over to the closet, opens it, turns the light switch on, and nothing. He checks under her bed, and nothing. And he tucks her in at night, telling her that monsters aren't real and they can't hurt you. Jim doesn't know it yet. Maybe if he's lucky, he'll never know it. But he's a liar. Monsters are real. They're everywhere. But the 4 of you have been told that same lie your entire life. Except this time, unlike Jim, who's alive, you are dead. And with death comes the knowledge of these monsters. and comes the knowledge of things you would rather just have lived your life not knowing. The last time we saw this coterie, or not yet coterie, you were turned, you were staked, you were told to follow the rules, and you were brought to your sires after the Camarilla had not given you a choice in killing who you were. 4 bodies were used to be a stand-in for your deaths. Whoever you were as people, that's gone, and that's gone forever. You are kindred now. In the week, you were given a crash course on the traditions and just basic information. Then, you were given a temporary haven, something for you to earn. It is an old nightclub that the prince used to own, and he has given it to you, telling you to thrive or walk into the sun. There's no in between. To earn this haven and your freedom from your sires, you were told to fix a problem that is happening somewhere around your nightclub. There's a spike in anemia cases. Now, while all these people go to different doctors, they're all within this general area. About 5 or 6 block radius from where the nightclub is. Your actual domain is only within the block that the club encompasses. But for the purposes of this investigation, you have been given special permission to go around the general vicinity, ask around, conduct business. You are not, however, allowed to feed outside of your own domain, which is that 1 block. There's no timetable on when you should solve this. Only that you must solve it before it becomes a problem. Because right now, it is not entirely an issue. But before all of that, you were brought to your haven by your sires, individually driving you. And we will open this scene with Cecil, actually. You are on a motorcycle, provided to you by your sire. Once you are able to park in the open parking lot on the side of the club, she looks to you and just gestures aside, away from everyone else. Then she proceeds to look at the briefcase. Saw you make a deal with Bianca.
Yeah.
Good job. It takes balls for a fucking fledgling to walk up to one of the most powerful kindred in the city and strike a bargain. And you know what?
Nobody has... Yeah?
You could have picked worse. But Bianca appreciates balls.
Like, she appreciates what?
Attitude. She appreciates someone who's got confidence to walk up to her. So you did good.
I'm just surprised I wasn't slashed in the throat for talking to someone so high status just out of nowhere, but it's got me 300k, so what am I
It's
to
an
say?
Elysium. The first thing you're gonna learn about Elysium, it's a place to talk to people regardless of status. Though, just one note, maybe don't be so sarcastic with them. You never know which one of them can actually kill you. But, like I said, you made a good choice. Bianca likes attitude. She likes moxie, she likes confidence, and you walking up to her, that sent a message to every kindred in Val Elysium that you're here to deal. The problem now is the follow-up. Whatever happens next, make sure you do it well. That one solid thing you did has just put your name in a whole nother light. And if you follow up just as well, you're gonna be a real player real soon.
You know, in my previous life, being a addict, you often don't have trust there's no honor among thieves, but I'm willing to kind of split the difference with that, and who knows, maybe this is probably my first step.
Probably. Do good, and if you need any help with what the prince has put to you, I'm not talking boons or anything, I'm talking purely survival. You succeed, I succeed. You fail, I fail. So it's in my best interest to make sure you don't fail. So if you need anything, you come asking.
I respect it, Chief. I go for sort of a fist bump.
She takes it. Knock him dead. And in this case, probably literally. Now, this might not have been covered by the finer points of training, but the prince has told you that you are responsible for this problem happening around the block. Which, in kindred speak, means that if it is a kindred doing this, you have every right to do whatever you're gonna do to them, including killing them. Now, it is not a blood hunt, which is the sort of thing where you can drain them dry and take their power. That is probably something we never covered, but that is something you're never supposed to do. Ever. This is the equivalent of cannibalism to humans. Don't do that. The prince needs to declare blood hunt before you're allowed to do that. But as far as this whole thing is concerned, you're allowed to kill them. If it comes to it. You find... Actually, it's probably gonna come to it. That's what he's meant. That's what he always means by deal with them. Someone's causing a problem, we clean up. So, at the very least, you're allowed to kill whoever's doing this. Get to him, kill him quick, earn your freedom, then you can enjoy all of this. And you'll rarely be called upon, but you should be active in trying to seek out the more deals you can make. That's how you survive. So good luck.
When we say to deal with them, in terms of how they suffer when we put them back in the grave,
Doesn't really matter. We're not typically in a habit of torture. So, find them, kill them, report. Typically in this society, you're taken at your word for as good as that's worth. So if you say they're dead, they're dead. But I would advise not lying to the prince, because his seneschal, the blonde man that picked you up your first night, he can see through those lies. And you can bet the prince is going to use that ability, especially for a bunch of fledglings. So just do what you have to do. Take him out. Trust me, if you've never killed a person before, it gets easier. And if you have no problem with it all, well, you'll fit right in.
It will not be a problem.
Good. She taps you in the shoulder. Well, go. She looks at the rest of the coterie. Go do your powwow with your friends or something. I don't know what you plan on doing, but figure this out quick. Things like this become problems sooner than you'd like. If you need anything, you know where to find me. I'm always in the south side. Takes her bite.
Oh no, right off. We got business to do.
Rest of you are dropped off. You were told the same thing, at least in regards to ending this kindred. It was a kindred making this mess, they die. All of your sires agree that is the interpretation of what the princess said. There is no in-between with this. The prince, while you guys never heard him say kill them, to your sires, to the rest of the society, the prince is as clear as day. Whoever's responsible for this dies. So, it is just the four of you. The club has been fully furnished. There's no sign, but there are people, there are contacts in the wall for people who are going to make that neon sign for you, whatever it is you're going to name this place. All of the chairs, furniture are luxurious velvet. The liquor cabinet is fully stocked. Everything is ready except for staff and a name. But the main thing about this place is the sub-basement. Below the basement, there's a door hidden beneath a bookcase. There's a staircase behind that hidden door that leads to the bottom sub-basement. It is large. It encompasses well over 250 square feet. It is a massive room that has slightly smaller rooms and a hallway that connects them all. Your individual havens have been prepared according to what your sires believe you are going to want. For Ash, your sire has prepared for you a room that looks just like your old room in the shop. But the first thing that you will notice is that it is filled with a variety of items that immediately give you that same vibe that this small little antique in that shop used to give you. These are, for one way or another, haunted by something or someone. Not necessarily that there's a spirit there, but it is tied to some form of haunting. And it is up to you to figure out what that haunting is. But you have about 6 or 7 little trinkets that all give that same vibe surrounding your bed. Apart from that, she has also saved a few of your clothes. Enough for you to get through the week and figure out to buy your own stuff. Oh, and a bag of cash to buy stuff with. It looks to be about $5,000-$6,000 of just cash lying around the bag in 20s and 50s, just crumpled up there and just placed into a bag.
And it came in a bucket.
That checks out. It came in the bucket. Shut up.
You also, but you do also have the bucket.
Of course.
Now,
it's also potted.
For Aaron, you have been provided a room that resembles more of a study area in a manor. A library has been provided to you with several books, including whether or not he should give you a grimoire. Something to study some basic rituals on that you haven't quite mastered yet, but in case he's not around to teach you, you have a grimoire to use as reference. Apart from that, you are not provided with any noodles because you can't eat them anymore. But there are some incense here because you can still smell things and they won't smell like bullshit, like literal bullshit. But you are provided with a bed within this area that has, it's like a library where you're in a corner room and the 2 walls have bookshelves attached to them with various things to read on, various topics to research, things about this world that you may not know. For Cecil, you are provided a very bare-bone room with a nice bed, but the most important thing that you've been provided is what can only be described in pop culture as a meth lab. Not to say that only meth can be made here, you have enough equipment to synthesize any number of illegal substances, and you don't even have to spend the money you made for it, because she gives you the raw materials to make all but the hardest of drugs, to start mixing it in. And finally, Renee, you have been provided a room that looks like it belongs to a lap of luxury. You have been provided with dresses that are probably more expensive than the place you used to live in. And you've also been provided cash, although unlike Ash, you have not been provided cash in the form of a knapsack with crumpled bills. You have been provided cash in the form of stacked briefcases full of full of $100 bills.
How many briefcases?
2 small ones.
Yes. Oh.
They amount to about $4,000 each. Just something to spend your money on.
Okay. So
And-
spoiled.
You have been, as requested, provided a small section of this room that is closed off, a sub room inside of it that is your dark room, a film camera with a variety of old film lenses, Canon, and a Polaroid, like a legitimate old school square shaped Polaroid with a bunch of old film attached to it. Of course, there's also the easel and canvas and everything else for your paintings, but these are the main things that you find in your room.
Nash
Once
got
you've
a
all-
bucket.
And haunted shit. Once you've all collectively kind of gathered yourselves here, you'll realize after the Elysium, after all of this, it is almost sunrise. Which means you have a few moments to talk about how you're going to approach this the next evening at least. If you would like to speak to each other, given there is a common area in between your rooms. Your room is shaped like a cross. The hallways are the cross. There's a common area in the center, and then your rooms are the four quadrants of that cross. But there's a common place where there's couches, even a fridge for stored blood bags if you have any, or anything you might need a fridge for storing. Of course, Cecil has an industrial freezer for certain kinds of drugs. Do you want to speak to each other, or do you want to just go to bed?
And I think Ash wants to say something if we are all like in the common area.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see
I'll join
then.
it.
Will you all be in the common area, or is there anyone who doesn't particularly leave their room?
Aaron would normally slink off to their room, but there is some that they would also like to talk about, so they'll be in
And-
the common area.
4 of you find yourselves in this common room. It is lit up by a chandelier with crystal lights. It is bright enough to light up this central area, but the hallways remain dark. What would you like to talk about?
So now that they're all out of earshot, how are we actually feeling about this?
Mate, I am fucking hyped. We've got everything we wanted. I can cook my shit wherever I want, whenever I want. But we do have a job to do, and we have to kill a bitch. So, what are you all thinking?
I can't help but feel I have the sword of Damocles hanging over me. All my actions being watched. If I make one misstep, it's lights for me. But can't lie that I'm not extremely interested in this new world thrust upon us.
So everyone's just like fine with being taken from our lives and being thrown in this existential nightmare.
Let me
Right.
ask. Sorry.
I didn't say I was fine. I'm acceptant. I'm a realist. I can't change what has happened to me. It's just you gotta roll with the punches.
Let me ask you, Ash. Say you hate this shit. You want to run away, right? What are you gonna do?
I imagine they just find some other fledgling to go and kill you.
Or I could just go up to the roof and wait until the sun rises.
If you're gonna kill yourself, then kill yourself just now, because we don't have time to really have all these suicidal thoughts and I care so much about my humanity, because we have a job to do and we have shit to do. We've been given a dream life and we need to make a promise on that dream and not just sit around and sulk and just contemplate shit.
Okay. Well, don't think that I haven't tried. So fuck you. and I'm allowed to mourn my humanity and everything that got taken away from me, all of the choice that got taken. So you guys are just totally fine with everything that's happened and being turned into monsters and being essentially abominations to nature.
Well, I somewhat had a choice in this. I didn't exactly know what I was getting into. I don't even know if I had a choice or if it was just an illusion.
We didn't have a choice. I don't care for the idea that I have to take lives now. I really don't, believe it or not. Cecil might not care, Renee might not care, but it's, like I mentioned before, it's something, life sucks, and we just need to accept it quicker than later. There's good that we can still do. If you're interested.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna do this, because obviously I had a week. If I actually was going to kill myself, I would have done it on night one, but I couldn't. So it is what it is.
Either way, your sire probably saw something within you.
Well, yes, but there wasn't a lot of choice for her, considering the circumstances of my embrace. I guess I just wanted to talk this out to see if I was the only one feeling this way. Thank goodness I'm not alone in Aaron, but I guess Cecil and Renee are just cool. I guess your sires chose you well. Congratulations.
Yes, I guess they did choose us because we're psychos. Thank you for that implication.
You're welcome.
Well, I'd say if you're given a second life, you decide to kill yourself, you're wasting that. You're not giving away a second chance because you didn't choose it, but I'd say you have to make the most of it. I have people I certainly fucking hate, and I may as well make use of what been bestowed upon now, and as I said back then, break shit.
Yeah, Ash, think about your living goals. You were alive, those goals are still there, even though you're dead. Aaron's gonna fiddle with their thumbs a little bit. She's like, ugh.
Yeah, getting married and having kids and having a normal life. Totally achievable now. Thank you for the reminder.
Let me just tell you this, honey. It's not worth it. Getting married, having kids, it's not worth it.
Even then, you're thinking of it binary, as if you need to go through a Christian, Protestant marriage and to go through all the rigmarole, and that I don't even know if vampires can biologically have kids, but
no,
you can still adopt. Hell, the sire called me his child. You could have children like that.
And either way, if you can't have children, you can still fuck.
Thank you, Cecil. Eloquent as always.
Okay.
Still, I'm concerned that we need to. We can't walk at this moment. This is something that we need to take running. And I want to make sure we are all of the right head, the right mindset, just because your actions also concern me, and our actions concern our sire, and our sire concerns the greater fucking vamp kindred society. Let's... Ash, who's your sire?
Melody is her name. She's...
What's she like?
Fine, I guess. She kind of talks in riddles. So you have to be very literal with her, or else she sort of like skirts around the question. It's kind of like what I imagine being in Wonderland is like, how everyone just sort of doesn't really talk straight to you. That's her vibe.
That's odd. That's quite opposite to my sire.
Yeah.
We have different clans, right? I'm Tremere. What did you say yours was?
Malkavian.
What do they do?
Melody explained it sort of as like the oracles of Delphi.
Oh.
We are intuitive and we see visions. There's some drawback to seeing the world that they do. I'm concerned about that part, and as time goes on, but we'll get there. But yes, essentially, there's an overall clairvoyance that seems to run with the Malkavians.
Aaron is going to withhold mentioning that the oracles of Delphi and their real life interpretation were in fact fraudulent, at least historically, and is instead just gonna move over to the table and I'm curious about you, Cecil. How about your sire and your clan?
Before he continues, there's one thing that needs to be clarified. While you weren't educated on the other clans necessarily, just the bare bones basic, 3 of you, except for Aaron, have been very well educated on the Tremere. Never give them your blood. Never take what they say at face value. Do not trust them if it can be helped. But as far as your coterie is concerned, trust them to do what they can do, which is normally be smart. But never trust them with anything personal. Go ahead, Cecil.
Oh, Aaron, I get the talking pillow now. Great. Well, our job as Bridger is to just... The first rule is that there are no rules is probably my best interpretation of it. We live by freedom. We live by cutting the chains that held us in our previous lives, and we are striving towards doing whatever the fuck we want. Obviously, within not biting the hand that feeds us, that's the main part, but I guess the main part of Bridger is that we rely on just what's on our hands, our own 2 hands, and the future in front of us. And we break shit.
I can align with some of that, I suppose.
You don't look like it.
Looks can be deceiving.
Okay, Renee, your turn.
Yes, Renee, please.
Well, as a Toreador, I have a sight to just see the beauty within others and just everything around. And it's often seen that Toreadors manipulate others to either get what we want or just to get things out of our way. And I will do that as such to find what I need.
Interesting. I will go as well. I mentioned before I'm Clan Tremere. My sire, Everett, has informed me how Clan Tremere works as far as trust goes within our kindred society. I asked them what that quite meant as to why we are just inherently untrustworthy, to which I received a very vague answer. And so, to mention it, The Tremere are blood sorcerers, scholars. They keep books, they hoard knowledge, they whatever they could do with smarts. That is how they navigate the world. But as far as being untrustworthy, unless I have something innate within me, I have no reason why I shouldn't trust you three before me. And you can trust me as you want, as your sires have told you. I'm still gonna work to be useful. I'm not good at group conversation.
No. I was
The
just letting you
lights-
talk for longer so I can see you squeal.
As you say
sure,
that,
man.
the lights begin to flicker, and the chandelier moves ever so slightly. The crystals are clanking against each other.
That must be the ghost.
Right. I imagine if vampires exist, there's ghosts too. No, there's... I think there's a vent over there. Perhaps it's drafty.
I'll make sure to make some cocaine and sprinkle it over to see if there's any footsteps about in the night, I guess. Oh,
I think sugar would also work, but sure.
Yeah, that seems like a waste of money, to be honest.
keep
Are
it
you
up.
gonna
People,
use that when you're done?
I can't, but I know that people will go carpet surfing for anything, so scoop it up, put it in a bag. People will snort it anyway.
Right.
Is that what you used to do?
Anyway, yeah, ghosts. Man, shit's spooky. I hope they like drugs, but whatever. What?
I mean, it's a ghost
I'm
in
not-
a club. They've gotta like drugs.
I'm not sold on the whole ghost idea, but there's another matter that we need to discuss.
The book
It's
next to Aaron's tabletop shuts closed and then flies off the table. Just clap and
Oh yeah, must have been the wind.
Aaron is just gonna like sort of like do this with their hands. It's like
Spooky. Do you have an explanation for that?
not one at the moment. Give me some time and I might give you one. But perhaps there is something supernatural. After all, there is vampires in this world and werewolves, and I can only imagine every sort of fantastical element that we don't even know yet. Oh, but perhaps.
Any of you having a Ouija board?
So,
Ash does in her room.
Were you going to say?
Oh, I
before
have
the
one?
discussion?
Oh yeah.
yes.
I was gonna mention they want us to make a name. The neon sign makers are waiting, and I don't imagine we can push that off. I was thinking maybe like River of Styx or something. I don't know. It sounds pretentious.
How about
River-
this? Yeah, go ahead. Explain your concept.
The River of Styx is the river between life and death. You know, that's. Some say the souls of the damned went down the river and they would end up at Hades.
I have a very thoughtful suggestion. How about we name the club Daddy's Bottom Bitches? Come on. Come on.
That is certainly.
So are you the bottom?
No, I say
That is what you're inferring.
I say that we are the tops and everyone else that comes in are the bottom. Anyway,
So you're daddy.
I
Uh-huh.
don't see it though.
you don't see any of us as daddies. Well,
Mainly you.
See, so those who proclaim that they are of alpha male status are usually the ones of least, so
yeah. sure with that pussy ideology, then yeah, I guess so. But
I don't know. He's kind of giving incel behavior.
I'll tell you for 1 sec. I like dick, and I am not trying to imply any sort of misogynistic tendencies on this establishment. I'm just saying that's my name. That's my suggestion. I'm putting it in the box.
Well,
I'm gonna deny that.
I'm proud of you for being open.
I'll go fuck off.
Now that we are all happy about sharing, I'm going to share that idea is horrible.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else have any better names then?
Honestly, I'm really bad at coming up with names, and just the only thing that's coming into my head is Fangtasia, but that's from True Blood, and I don't know. I don't know.
It's such a silly name.
And that might give us away.
But if it's like a theme, then it's, you know, we're on theme. I don't know. It seemed... I don't know. I'm bad with names.
How
That sounds like
about...
a Theash response, though, I think.
How about the Deadly Affair?
Like a meeting, or like we're some sort of brothel where you cheat on your spouse.
It's up to interpretation.
I interpret it as just secrets being shared in a deadly fashion.
And it's kind of hinting at it, but it's not as, you know, on the nose as Fangtasia.
I don't mind it. I think marble columns would be too expensive to purchase if we were to do River of Styx.
Yeah, and I don't know if, like, the average person would appreciate the reference as
Or
it should
understand
be.
it. Because I feel like there's some people, looking at Cecil, that might not understand it.
I get it. I guess. Yeah, I get it.
You got it after Aaron explained it?
I'm sorry, but the daddy's bottom bitches is just in my mind right now, so I'm not really concerned about suggestions, but Deadly Affair sounds good.
It truly is a name.
If I turned it to
Yes.
daddy's top bitches, would you like it more? Sorry, just fucking... We have a name.
No, bottom bitches is better.
Because
Deadly
it's
Affair
true
works.
to what you are.
Mm-hmm. It's giving bottom energy.
The first Bruja compulsion. Roll. Crashing out.
Are we
I
gonna
am
just...
not.
Are we just gonna keep on arguing about whether or not I'm a top, bottom, switch, power bomb, whatever the fuck you want to call
There's
it?
no
Or...
arguing. We know you're the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can either theorize about my sexual tendencies, or we can come up with a name. We'll come up with a
Well,
fucking
you
name.
have none.
You brought it up.
I'm sorry. When did suggesting daddy's bottom bitches inherit me? I'm sorry, my
I
bad.
like Deadly Affair.
Yes, Deadly Affair. Let's go.
Name's been agreed on.
That is what we will tell the neon sign makers.
All you need to do is write down the name on the card by the bulletin board, and apparently they're just going to pick it up. So you can write that down, and whoever goes up there is going to realize that the sun is about to rise. And the rest of you will head to your havens. Now, when you were alive, whether you were night shift or day shift, there's a routine. The sun is either coming up or down, and you're either waking up or going to sleep. But it's always the same. You put your head on the pillow, you rest, you close your eyes, and eventually you slowly drift off. That is not the case anymore as kindred, because when the sun rises, your bodies die. There is no in-between sleep. There's just you closing your eyes, and when the sun sets, your eyes open. To you, it is a blink. To the mortal world, 12 or so hours have passed. But you do not feel the passage of time. You only feel as though you lied down, you blink, and when you blink, your body has reverted back to another state. Any makeup you put on goes away, favoring what it used to have when you got turned. If you had injuries, they would start to heal. At least that's what you were taught. But when you all wake up, so too does the beast. And I need all of you to make your rouse checks to wake up this evening. It is the skull button next to your hunger. Fine, fine, fine. And
Ooh.
failed. Cecil,
He was tossing and turning.
you awaken. You blink, you open, your body forces itself back to life. Most kindred hunger for blood, for vitae, for that nourishment. But you hunger for something more. You feel that twitch again, that itch. You really need that fix, and you need it from some loser down the street who wasn't lucky enough to get chosen. You've been insulted by this group of people that if you really wanted to try, you could probably rip apart physically if you really applied yourself. But that's not the point right now. The point right now is that they don't matter. What matters is that you really need that fix. Your hunger's gone up, but your addiction is also taking place now. Until you get your fix of your blood, you will have a penalty. A -2 die to everything you roll until you can feed on someone of a particular drug. You may address that later. You may address that now. It's up to you. But this evening you do have something to do.
I think Cecil is gonna he's twitching really hard and he's like sort of squirming his fingers, but he is willing to hold off just for now to see what the group's doing, and then he's going to fix the craving.
Now, as a reminder, each of you has 5 superficial damage because you were staked. Or you're supposed to have them. Oh, sorry, no, those were healed. Never mind. So, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. As for willpower, anyone who's spent any for the last session, every time a new session starts, you may regain willpower, either with composure or resolve, whichever is higher. Just right-click it. Oh, don't press the minus button. That's going to reduce your total.
Don't call me out like that.
No one knows it was you. But essentially, you guys awaken, your injuries are fine, but you do have something to do. There is the case of that anemic problem, and you were all told, well, there's no timeline, before it becomes a problem. Those were the words used. Would you like to speak to each other?
Well,
Or is this a case of you just do your own thing and figure it out your own way?
I think we should work as a group.
Yeah, we should probably
not-
talk about it.
Yes, not. We don't need to all be in the same location. We all have our strengths, but anemia, that'll usually put people in the hospital if they're what's the word? If it's uncommon. I think seeing our local hospital and perhaps finding whoever has been anemic in the last few nights and interrogating them, figuring out what they were doing. If we do it enough, maybe we'll figure out a pattern of sorts. That's my idea. I would say I slept on it, but I felt like I didn't sleep at all.
I'd say that's a good place to start.
Cecil is listening, but this entire time he sort of has his head down, and instead of his normal relaxed, sort of relaxed pose like last time, he is kind of curled up a bit, and he just is flicking his vein just on his wrist, just over and over again, but still nodding his head at stuff.
You okay, Cecil?
Mate, I'm fine. Let's just get this done.
Can I like insight check him and see if he's
That is
actually
wits
fine?
and insight. So you click insight first, select wits, but
Okay.
when the pop-up comes out, reduce your vampiric dice by 1 because there is a -2 provided earlier.
Oh.
Oh, but I've got to ask Nigel.
Yes.
Do I the -2 with the drug addiction dice? Do I apply that to the willpower?
No, that applies to any roll that you make until you feed it.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so I have insight and wits.
Yep.
Do I hit confirm and then
Yes,
it'll
hit confirm and then there's
reduce
going
the
to
die?
be yes.
Got it. Okay, so I will deuce. Okay.
Given your, let's call it, proclivities, you have seen this kind of behavior before.
Mhm.
You've seen it happen before. In drug-seeking behavior, in addicts. I mean, you've had it before, but not to this degree. You've always been the kind who... Maybe you are addicted, but... You know, it gives you a boost instead of makes you twitchy. At least you haven't
Yeah.
gotten that far down the rabbit hole that it makes you impaired.
Yeah, Ash has never suffered full-on withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, it's more of it, you know,
But-
you can do things better when you're on it. You haven't
Yeah.
gotten to the point where it's crashing, but it looks like he
Mhm.
has.
Yeah.
Though you also know calling out addicts on it is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Will you do
I'll
anything?
just clock it. I won't say anything for the moment.
Okay.
So let's just to get it straight before we walk into a hospital, just start interrogating nurses. What are our strengths? From the Tremere, I work well in knowledge, research, looking deeper into something. That is my strength, and the Tremere disciplines are all quite useful in that regard. So I can say we find some files. I might be able to look through them. I might be able to tell you what clients are anemic versus which ones are not.
I can probably
I'm
help you
mostly
with that.
I'm mostly like a vibe kind of a person. I don't know if maybe I can go to the hospital, but I don't know if I should talk to anyone.
Why not?
Like, okay, talking to people. I don't think I'm very convincing. Not a great liar.
I don't. From how I'm seeing it, I don't think we should go in there acting like we're someone we aren't. At most, we could just say that we're family and we just want to look at the common where they might be sitting in, getting a plasma infusion or something.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but do we know the names of any of these people who have anemia? I mean, if we just go in saying that we're a family member, I mean, they're gonna
We
ask
could
for
talk-
names.
We could talk to people in the waiting room.
That's true.
there's anyone in the ER who has been anemic recently, that would be a fresh lead.
I can make. If we're talking about our strengths, I can make people bleed. If they're anemic and we need to find that out, I'm certain I can fix that problem. Or let's say, I can poke a hole in the boat, let's say. But if we need to do it by force, so be it, I've got that covered.
Just keep in mind, thou shalt not reveal thy true nature of those not of the blood.
Yes, Socrates, yes, I get it. Shut up.
I'm not going to breach the masquerade, as they put it.
Yeah, but you need to phrase it like such a weirdo.
I'm just phrasing it how they want us to phrase it. Regardless.
Maybe you should phrase it in a way that Cecil will understand it.
How about you phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like a pretentious prick?
Both would be good.
Regardless, we need to move now. I really, I might need a break from you.
Okay. So
Are you about to crash out, Aaron?
No, not yet.
there's another -2 again. So we will do this by scene. And there's a 5th +2. If anyone would like to use those, they give you an extra dice. If
That's true.
I'm under the correct assumption that you do not want to work with each other right now and decide to split off into different areas, the area that's affected on the map you're seeing is basically the entirety of this neighborhood, the North Center. That's your general block area that's being affected. But again, you're allowed to go beyond the scope if you're going to a hospital, because there's not one in that district. If you're going to a community center, if you're going to a drug den, wherever you're going, you are given special permission to leave your domain, enter someone else's, and if necessary, do some business. The only thing you're not allowed to do is feed. You also have been taught what this little red zone is. The districts of Lakeview, Lincoln Park, and Westtown, they are what's known as Verac, meaning all kindred are welcome to go into this area and feed as long as they keep the masquerade. It's free for all. It is a feeding ground for everyone. So, since you're all
We
splitting
also got
off...
another -2 and another +2.
Oh, yeah. That was...
War going on.
Yep. -2 and +2. So whoever's going to make the next roll is a floating negative.
We ought to
Before we get to it, what do where do each of you want to go, and what do you want to do? Let's start with Ash.
I think that I am going to go to the hospital, but I'm going to find a quieter place, maybe an empty room or a storage closet or some place where I can be alone. And I would like to...
Of a hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I would like to try and see if I can kickstart a premonition.
In the hospital, all right. And
yes,
we'll get to that individually. Aaron, where are you heading off to?
I think Aaron would either follow Renee or Ash. I would imagine they've assumed that they are the best ones at talking, and that they would be able to cover where Aaron struggles. And so that is, I think they would, if we're going to do like small little 2-2 groups, or if we're just going to all 4 be together and we're lingering around, that's where Aaron would go. So
You are not going
Aaron
anywhere
would go
alone?
with Ash. Yes.
Gotta Scooby-Doo this shit.
So who are you heading at? Who are you going with? And let us check in with them if they want you around.
Would Ash accept Aaron's presence?
sure. But yeah, there's gonna be a point where it's like, okay, so I'm going to find a quiet place and do my anything.
I don't know what that means.
I don't necessarily know either, and I don't know if it's really going to help, but we'll see. I'll find you when I'm done.
Okay. And Aaron is just gonna awkwardly stand like around the room, like hands up, just like.
All right. So the two of you are gonna be in the hospital. Cecil, where do you head off to?
Cecil's first objective, first things first, is to go and find a drug addict to feed from. And it'll likely be going to the free-for-all feeding ground to find any druggie and just sucking the soul out of them.
We're in our domain too, so keep that in mind.
Oh no, he's going to the feeding ground, the wreck. So
But he can also feed where we are.
yeah, but you have a 1 block radius versus the rack, which is like free neighborhoods. It's much easier to find your feeding. Basically, the difficulty for feeding is lower because it's a much larger area.
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna find there. I need to move Aaron and Ash because you are going to be very aptly named and actual real life place of Kindred North Hospital. I believe it was somewhere down here. So, while you guys are there, where does Renee go?
I am also going to the hospital, but I'm just going to be in the waiting room.
Oh, so 3 of you are going there, okay.
Yeah,
It's the
but
main
kinda
hospital with
slowly.
where all the people went. Okay. So,
Just to clarify, after the feeding ground, Cecil's going to do basically 180 and go back to the hospital as well.
oh, so you're all going to the hospital, alright. But
Yeah.
because Cecil's apart, first and foremost, we'll start with you, which unfortunately means that you are getting one of the 2 floating -2s around the area. So, you are going to make your feeding roll. In your sheet, you can click it, the icon, not the name. And the addicted flaw has already been added, so you don't have to lower anything, but you will lower the vampire dice by 1 because there's a -2 in the chat that you have to deal with.
Got it. Okay.
So just -1, just reduce it by 1, then roll. You don't have to do anything else. 2. Because you're feeding in the rack, this isn't a big problem. What you do see are several people on a variety of opiates, but you see one particularly familiar and delicious and very much something that will get this high out of you for at least more than half of the night. It looks like a guy who has the telltale signs of having ingested a little bit too much of something cut with fentanyl.
Mm.
You can take from him, and you can drink. Your feeding roll is alley cat. So, the guy goes off to an alley. He rubs his face. He's tired. He's confused. He's lost. On one hand, this is too easy. It's not fun. On the other hand, he has what you need, and you're on a time limit. So, whatever. Turn him around. He probably hasn't even seen your face with how high he is. Sink your fangs into him. He doesn't know what's going on. Initial resistance followed by surrender. You can reduce your hunger by 1. You just click the first circle. And you feed. But you don't take everything because you were told not to kill anyone. And if you start killing addicts, I mean, who are you going to feed from? You leave him enough to survive, and to be honest with yourself, you're probably doing him a favor taking that fentanyl out of his blood before it does some major damage. He passes out on the alley. He's probably going to get robbed by the hobos just living across. But on your way to the hospital, you will see the large 4-story nightclub. As a mortal, you are aware that all sorts of drugs and alcohol are available here, but it's known as the Succubus Club. You've never once seen yourself or anyone that you know, rich or not, get an invite to this place. It is one of the most exclusive clubs in the city. As a kindred, you are aware of why now. It is the club. And if you get invited to the Succubus Club, it's one of the markers that you've made it. That you are someone worth noticing in this city. For now, you don't have one. Maybe someday you might. But you'll head to the hospital. The rest of you are already there. Let's start with Ash and Aaron. Ash already took one of the -2s. So, Aaron has to take the other -2. And I say that because you are heading to a hospital, and then you'd like to hide in one of their broom closets, which will require Dex and Stealth because you're not allowed in their broom closets. So both of you need to roll Dex and Stealth, and Aaron will have to do this with one less die. But there are 5 +2s floating around, 6 +2s floating around that haven't been used.
I'm gonna eat one of those +2s.
Then you don't need to remove any die.
Stealth Dex.
Yep. It's 1. Ash.
Oh my gosh.
Ash, you need...
Sorry.
Yep. You need to roll Stealth and Dex
What
as
am I
well.
rolling? Sorry.
You need to roll Stealth and Dex as well.
Stealth and Dex. Okay.
You will not get your
Do
specialty
I also
for
take
this.
another?
No.
Okay.
Well, if you want to take a +2, but there are no more -2s to eat for now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
1. Okay. It's not bad.
Jeez.
It's a hospital. They have more things to worry about. The 2 of you step in. It feels like a camera might have caught you. But it's 2 people in a crowded hospital going into a broom closet. Assumptions are made if they ever see it. But you are in a broom closet. So Ash, if you would like to trigger your premonition, you are going to go to the discipline part of your sheet, which is the Ankh with Fangs.
Mhm.
On the left side, you are going to select premonition as an ability, and then you roll the little D10 icon next to the premonition. It will also roll the rouse check for you.
Okay.
There will be times this will trigger on its own. Oh, that's the rouse check. You roll the icon, the premonition icon,
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
the left of the word.
I'm bad. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, you fail. Would you like the willpower event?
Oh. Yes, please.
I think so.
Right-click the result, the premonition result, and you may willpower any free black die.
Okay. Right click.
If there's ever a time where the premonition triggers on its own, whatever the result of the hunger die is, you ignore it. And if it increases your hunger, you just reduce it. You need to right-click the result
The result. Yeah.
on the chat.
I'm clicking. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's either saying make private or delete.
Scroll down a bit. There should be one more.
I'm scrolled all the way down. I'm scrolled all the way down.
Try right-clicking the name, the
Three
name
dice.
premonition. Right-click the
Oh,
word.
okay. I see. It's actually above it. So perfect.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Reroll.
It's not a good day for you.
You're doing worse than the drug addict. Oh my god.
Have you used your willpower more than once? You haven't yet, right?
No.
Yeah, you should
I
on the free
had marked it off myself.
Oh yeah, that marks
I didn't
automatically.
realize
It's
it would
fine.
automatically.
So-
Okay, gotcha.
You are sitting in this closet, waiting for a vision, waiting for something to arrive. But you are interrupted. A guard opens the door. Hey, take it outside. This ain't a fucking brothel. Makes you guys
How-
leave.
Oh, Aaron's with me? I
Yeah.
thought I was alone.
He said he wanted to follow you,
Okay. Oh, okay.
Kicks out.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
The guard kicks you out. Move. Jeez, don't you have any shame? There's a bunch of sick people here. And he just closes the door and leaves. Locks the closet from the door.
And now we are the sick people.
Would you like to attempt anything else?
You didn't do anything in there.
You were interrupted.
I can't. I don't know how this all works yet. Okay, I'm still figuring stuff
You're
out.
gonna figure it out in a week.
I couldn't even figure it out after freaking 30 years.
All right. Where's Renee?
I don't know. But maybe we should just go to the let's just go to the waiting room and maybe I can, I don't know, get something there.
Sure.
ER would be a place for if you want to go there, because the ER would be the place where those people are going to be directed to.
Okay.
Pausing that for a moment, Renee, what would you like to do in the hospital?
Yeah, so I'm going to the waiting room. Oh, hi, Clay. And just kind of first, how many people are in the waiting room? Is it kind of empty?
Do you
kinda
mean the
full?
waiting room of the actual hospital or the emergency room
Like
itself?
where? The emergency room.
Oh, there's a lot. There's no seat available for you if you were to sit down here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna act like just kind of stressed out, a little frantic, kind of like pacing a little bit, nervous. Just get in the zone first.
Would you like to go to anyone in particular, or you just want to attract attention?
Attract attention.
Great. Would you like to perhaps use awe?
Yes.
So, you don't need to really go to the discipline sheet because awe doesn't have a roll, but I will have you roll charisma and persuasion. You click persuasion, select charisma, but before you could confirm, there's an add discipline drop down. Put your presence in that. Or
Okay.
go to the drop down, put presence, then confirm it. And then roll.
Oh, there's persuasion. Okay. Persuasion, charisma.
Then you just roll.
Okay. Whoops.
While this is happening, the other two are scrambling to get to the same room you're in, and Cecil is walking towards the hospital, feeling like himself again.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry. What do you say that I add to it?
Add discipline, click presence. It's a drop down
Oh,
when
there
you
it
click.
is. I'm blind. Yeah, I just did not see it. Oh,
Then
no,
just
damn.
confirm
oh
and
my
roll.
God, I cannot read. There we go.
2. Okay. They are mortals. This won't take much effort. You are standing in the waiting room. Everyone's busy, everyone's dying, everyone's got an injury. There is a guy with a nasty fracture in his arm where the bone is peeking out. And even then, you go to the room, you're confused, you're tired, the nurses are overworked. They don't even notice you. You don't look like you're injured. And once it comes on, and you use the power of your blood, there are nurses that just ignore someone in a wheelchair to go to you. And the guy in the wheelchair, the guy with the broken arm, turn to you. And they all just look at you, and the nurses are scrambling around you, concerned for your well-being, asking
I'm a
if, are you
damsel in
okay?
distress.
What's wrong? Are you okay? You look like you've had a hard day. Come down. Come, sit. And they take your hand and they gesture to like a bench where people just naturally move to let you sit down. When they hold you, oh my god, you're so cold.
Pretty privilege.
You haven't done your blush of life, so they think you're kind of cold. They feel like you're sick. Oh, your temperature's way down. We need to see you immediately.
No. I'm okay. It's my husband. I'm just worried sick about him.
Oh,
They-
what's wrong with him?
they said he's anemic, and there's been no issues before, and I know he's had other health problems, and I'm just so worried that something's gonna happen. And I've been trying to call my family, and they haven't arrived yet, and there's just too much to handle right now.
They think for a bit, and the nurse looks like he wants to say something, but he's afraid to disappoint you. I got this, and he looks at the other nurses who nod, and the people are still kind of looking at you. All is still open, but your husband, has he ever exhibited drug-seeking behavior before?
No, never.
We've had a spike in cases of anemia lately, and the commonality they all have is we believe they're taking a new form of street drug that's laced with a material we don't necessarily know yet, but we believe it's causing the anemia.
That's impossible. He's never taken anything. He doesn't even drink.
He looks away like he doesn't want to be the one to tell you that your husband, quote unquote, might be a drug addict. He doesn't want to disappoint you. He doesn't want to see you sad, but he just puffs his chest up like he's a nurse. This is his job. Unfortunately, if he's one of the cases, that's likely what's happened. It's become a recurring thing, but maybe he's not. If you can give me a name, I can look through the patient list and see if maybe he just naturally has anemia. You know, maybe it's not so bad. I mean, who would ever take drugs when they have you at home, right?
I'm just gonna clutch my heart and just start crying.
Oh no, please don't.
No.
And
I can't believe this is happening.
When Ash and Aaron walk in the room, you see Renee pretending to cry. Because if you actually cry, it's gonna come out blood. So you pretend to cry, put a handkerchief over your face, and the nurse who looks like he really doesn't want to hurt her, but she's crying. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault.
When you're
it's
ready,
just a lot to process right now.
I'll give you a minute. When you're ready, we can look through your husband's file and see what's going on. Okay?
Okay, just thank you. I just need a minute to collect my thoughts.
Are you sure you don't want to get checked? You're very cold.
No, I'm just worried sick for him.
Okay.
I'm cold. I'm just naturally cold. It was also very cold in here.
Okay. If you need anything, I'll be right over there. And he stands up. Would you like to drop your awe now when he leaves so people stop looking at you?
Yeah.
Okay. Two of you enter. Will you go to Renee or will you do something else? As the two of you come into the ER.
I think that was just vampiric power or personal skill.
I don't know. Maybe a bit of both.
Ash?
Jesus.
I'd like you to re-roll your premonition now. Except you are getting a choice in the matter. If your hunger goes up from it, make sure to reduce it, because you don't get hunger when it's premonition, but it automatically adds it.
Okay.
Same roll.
Please.
Wow.
Oh.
And you don't even get hungrier. Okay, that's 5 successes on your premonition.
Yeah.
You see
He
everything.
did it.
Finally.
For Aaron, you're speaking with Ash. You haven't even approached Renee yet. Ash's eyes go to a smoky gray, and she's just standing there lifeless. Now, if anyone notices that, that's a bit weird. However, to cover her eyes, you would have to put your hand up and you put your glasses on her.
Yep.
But she's just standing there. The vision takes you to a building. It's disrepaired, and it looks maybe like a church, like an abandoned church, a chapel. And there's a bunch of people there, usual drug addicts. But you are seeing a man, dark curly hair, tied to a neat little bun, like a tiny little wolf's tail in the back, with a messy fringe. He's giving a pill inside, or 2 pills inside a small container. And he's given a lot of money in return by a guy. And then your vision takes you over to this very hospital room. Inside that ER is that same guy who bought those pills. And your vision ends. But before your vision ends, Aaron, there is a nurse that approaches and says, "Is your friend okay?"
Yeah, I think they are. And then Aaron is gonna like dig deep and try and think of some like brain term.
There are no negatives yet. But I will ask you to roll manipulation, and I'll even let you use medicine.
Okay,
There are 6 plus 2s. Oh, sorry, there are 5 plus 2s left since you used 1. There are no negatives, so your call.
Okay. Give me a second. Manipulation and medicine, you said, right?
Yeah, you click medicine first. Select manipulation from the attribute.
And
If you'd
no
like to use a
negative
plus 2, you can just increase the vampire die with the plus button.
I think I'm just gonna go raw.
There are 5 plus 2s. 1. She looks to you. You want the willpower? You can only reroll 1 die with that willpower.
No,
Yeah. She looks
I'm
to
not
you.
gonna willpower.
There are now 5 plus 2s again. 1 more from Commander Hobo. The nurse looks to you. Okay.
Where's the waiting room?
You're in it.
There's. Oh, right. Sorry. I'm their friend. I don't come to hospitals often.
We have a lot of people who are dying right now. If your friend is fine and hasn't fainted yet, she can wait. And then the overworked nurse just sort of leaves.
Yeah, this is our friend over here. Yeah. It's and then
She just leaves.
they're already gone.
Oh, you're scrambling.
Yeah.
While this whole thing in the awaiting room is happening, Cecil,
Mhm.
you are walking from the rack to the hospital, which is slightly just below the edge of it. It's a long walk. But you do come across an area roughly midway from Lincoln Park and where you're going. There's some people talking. They're clearly needing a fix themselves. You've already had a snack, but you just noticed the drug-seeking behavior. I'd like you to roll your wits and awareness. Click awareness, select wits, then just roll. Nothing else is added. And your addiction shouldn't have a negative to it anymore.
Nice.
So you just roll it. 2. You hear their conversation. And one of them talks. "You got any more of that shit?" "Fuck. No. I'm out. Should we go see, the place?" "But it's getting expensive, man. I'm running out of money." "Yeah, I get you. I feel you, but damn, I need it. I just need it, I'm not having a good day. Nothing's Nothing's working but that shit. I'm trying everything. I've even tried meth, and it's not doing shit for me anymore. Look. We can go back there and see if they're willing to give us a loaner. No, return customers. Maybe they'll charge us less. He just nods, and you see the two of them making their way out opposite of where you're going. But given you are kindred, you have a natural attunement to people's blood, vitae, beyond the drugs. Their blood is weak. You're not sure if that means anemia. You're not a medical professional, but it is a little weak. Something's definitely wrong with them. I'm just not sure what. Would you continue going to where you're going, or do your plans change because of this?
I'm going to kind of subtly stalk them. As in, I'm going to act like I'm going the same direction, but just, tailing a little bit. Tail them for a little bit.
Okay. I'd like you to make a dexterity and stealth.
Dexterity and...
So you'll click stealth, then select dexterity. Nothing else.
Oh, stealth and then dexterity. Okay, cool.
Yep. Always start with the skill.
Cool. Can I add a +2 to that?
Sure. You can just increase the vampire die by 1 with the plus button. There are now 4 of them around.
Stealing our +2s.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. So you remember, they're going the opposite direction now, so you're going away from the hospital. You're following them. You're tailing them. You are led back to the North Center District. A little off from where your haven is, but you are heading to an abandoned church. Now, you know this church well. Drug addicts would come here to shoot stuff up. If not, but they don't usually come here to seek out that stuff. The two of them go inside. Now, you know that if you enter through the area, everyone will notice. The doors creak, they're loud, and once you go in, there's really not much place to hide. There's an addict almost in every corner there. Would you like to go in anyway, or just see what happens when they come out?
I'm just going to wait outside and see what happens when they come out.
They come outside after about 10 or so minutes. And they are... they're carrying a vial, like a plastic container. The kind you normally have to do a piss test in. You're familiar with those. But inside that container, it looks like there's a bunch of pills, and when they're outside, they're sitting by the stairwell of the church, hidden behind its iron fence. And they take it. And they look up, and the high is more instantaneous than any drug you've ever had. You're fairly certain no drug has an effect that quick. The moment they take it, it works. And they're just lost in it. Staring up. Completely lost. And they are compelled, or they look like that they stand up in a daze and they walk back into the church. And they don't leave for however long you're willing to stay here. With that knowledge,
I think... Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh no, as they walk in, I'm willing to kind of investigate a little bit further. I'm going to see if I can try and sneak our way into the church itself.
You can't walk through the front door, but there is a hole in the roof. And it is late, and there are no lights along this street. So you could scale your way up there. You will roll strength and athletics. Start with athletics, then click strength.
Cool.
Three.
Cool.
Okay.
Mm.
You scale your way up the wall. You jump, you move, you use your strength, you get up. You are flat on the roof so as not to be seen by the passers-by along the street. And you're looking. People who took the drug, they just walk. And there's a man. He has a dark reddish hair, like a very dark red, almost brown. It's very short, however. Very neatly cut. Who directs them. And it looks like that they're using the back area of the church, where the priests would have lived. And they walk inside. That is beyond your vision now. And you can actually notice from the outside that there are boarded up windows there. But there weren't before when you used to go here to do your hits. That's new. Those windows being boarded up and sealed, that's all new. That wasn't here before.
Mm.
And they just walk inside and they do not leave. You are by the roof, watching that. The other druggies are high out of their minds, but they're not leaving. And with that, we will go to break and be back in about 10 minutes or so to see what else our coterie ends up getting roped up with. We will see everyone. Don't go anywhere. Oh, there's another -2 from Miserable Junkie. Great. So whoever's gonna roll next gets another -2. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and we're back. So, where we left, Cecil has discovered some pertinent information. Depends whether or not he actually knows it's pertinent yet, and what he's gonna do about it. But the rest of you, we will look at the lens through your point of view in VER. Renee has finished sobbing. People stopped looking at you. Your sob story's over. Your 5 minutes of fame in this place, thankfully, is over before you get too much attention you don't want. And Ash has come out of that vision. And you're wearing Aaron's glasses.
Oh yeah, I forgot I had the glasses on.
Are you having a seizure? What's your issue?
Oh, God, what the? Gets them back.
Yeah, I'd like those back. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing that I was trying to make happen in the closet, it happened.
I thought you said you needed privacy.
I don't know. I don't know how this works. Melody is cryptic.
You don't make sense. I fear.
No, don't say that. Please don't say that. Okay.
Did you see?
No, I saw a church. And I saw a man getting pills, a man with like short, dark, curly hair, and then I saw him in this hospital. I think it's connected. I would hope it's connected. That would be really shitty.
The man with short, dark, curly hair is the one giving the pills.
Giving. Oh, okay, gotcha.
The guy you saw in the hospital looks like he's in a suit. A businessman, maybe.
Oh.
Clean cut.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And he's in here, as far as you can tell right now.
And you can believe these visions, like, 100%?
No. But what else do we have?
Renee, you see them whispering in the corner.
I mean, you can do your thing. I'm gonna try and find him.
I'll follow.
Okay.
For the record, the ER has an electronic door for the patients who are going to be seen on the inside. How do you plan to get in?
Right. Renee looked like she had that nurse by the coattails. I imagine maybe they have an inn.
Yeah.
And then I imagine we'll walk over to Renee.
Well, they're approaching you now.
That was...
What was that about?
Good work.
Oh, I needed to get some information of what's going on. It seems like people, like, there's a new street drug that's going around laced with something that's causing all these issues. My husband is here and he's having some anemic issues. The nurse that was helping me so that he could look to the file and see, but I don't have a name, so I'm kind of stuck right now.
Well, Ash, tell her.
So I had a premonition. I saw a church. I saw a clean-cut man in a suit with dark curly hair giving someone pills, and then I saw that same man in this hospital.
2 different men, I thought.
No, same man. That was me, George Lee. I got confused. It's the same
The
man.
guy with curly hair gave the drugs. The guy who's in the hospital is the one who took the drugs.
Oh my god. Oh, no, so I got confused again. Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry. The guy, just to be clear, the curly haired guy gave the drugs. The clean cut businessman who took the drugs is the one in the hospital.
Okay, that's where I got confused. I thought the clean cut man was the one who was giving the drugs. Okay,
No.
okay.
Clean cut man is the one in the hospital who had taken the drug.
Okay.
But
So-
no name.
No name.
No name.
Just do what you did before. Just describe it to that nurse. They'd say, "Oh, we know that guy." Yeah. Oh.
Okay, but like, I feel like they're gonna want a name. I can try. I'll go to one of the nurses.
You're going to one of the nurses, okay?
Or,
What do you say?
Or Renee, do
I
you
can
wanna
I
try?
can go.
Renee has the case built.
Renee's going to the nurse.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
we can go together.
Okay.
I'll just be frantic and you describe them. I can't think of a name right now, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hit
Renee?
the man standing emoji behind you both.
You end up at the nurse, the one you spoke with earlier. Awe is not on, or are you using it again?
No.
Okay.
I don't need everyone.
So he remembers the conversation. It's not like he lost it, but he looks at you. Oh, hi. Are you ready to go see your husband?
I'm still like really frantic. I can't think straight. I'm just gonna nod, still like fake crying.
Can I?
I'm so
I
sorry.
have his-
She is just so upset right now. So he has like dark brown curly hair and he's wearing a suit. Yeah. She's in denial, but he does have a bit of a drug problem.
Can you roll for me, Ash? Your manipulation and your persuasion.
Okay, that's not
He's a
Bad.
+2.
Yeah, plus
There
two.
are.
Yes.
Hold on. Miserable Junkie, give him -2, which you're going to have to eat. So you have a negative.
Use-
okay. So
There are
I'm gonna
4
use
plus
the
2s left.
I'm gonna use one of the +2s to just make it
There are 3 plus 2s left.
roll.
And with Renee's
Okay.
help, you may add an extra die.
Yeah, I'm supporting.
I'm
So what
two.
you can do is add +1 to your vampire die.
Okay. Miserable Junkie, we are forever energetically intertwined with these -2s. Like, it's just gonna happen. We just need to accept it.
So
Funny
basically,
part, Jake
when
was
you
the
do
one who
the
called it
roll,
out.
increase the vampire die by 1. That's the total bonus you get. 2. He looks and he thinks, brown hair. So, yeah, we have a guy who just came in. Actually, he's pretty bad case. Sure, let me direct you to him. He
Thank you so much.
opens the door. You hear buzzing sound. It opens up. You're let in, and then the door closes behind. He walks you through the ER room, and he brings you to one of the few rooms in the ER that actually has a bed that he can stay in. But it is a shared room, so there are curtains in between all of them. And as you walk in, the guy is there. He's receiving a blood transfusion, and the nurse just looks. Yeah, so whatever he took depleted his blood, his red blood cell count, and his iron. He should be fine after a bit of infusion, but pretty bad. We don't know what the drug is. I've never seen it before, but it's doing some messed up stuff to his blood. Do you want a moment?
Yes, that would
Yes,
be great.
please.
Thank you.
Wait,
Yeah,
nurse.
he should be
did,
fine in a bit. Yeah.
Did he have any on his person? I mean, that would be illegal, wouldn't it? If it's a drug. That's
Wasn't
no.
on him, not in his possessions.
But his lab tests, like,
We tested his
must be something.
blood for everything. There's nothing on it. there is a substance, but we haven't identified it. We don't know what it is. It's a bit odd. But becoming very common. If this keeps up, we're probably going to report to the CDC. We're going to send some specialists in. But hopefully it doesn't stay too long. Right now, no one's calling it an emergency yet. There haven't been that many people, and it's only been a few weeks. No one likes the CDC being around here, to be honest, but... yeah, I'll give you a minute. His talk screens are negative for the usual stuff. We don't know what's wrong with him.
We're all family. May we get a copy of his documentation, just so that way, itemized billing and things like that. We can figure it out later.
I'll get you a copy of the lab results.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He leaves you there. Now remember, you're not entirely private, but everyone, because you only have like curtains between you and the next bed. But the people in this room are not in a good shape, so they're probably not going to hear too much. But the guy is unconscious, and he's receiving a blood transfusion. What they said is that they tried to, I forgot the name of the drug, but it's that anti-opiate drug. The thing that kind of brings you back from...
Narcan.
There you go. They tried Narcan, it didn't work. They tried to pump his stomach, but there was nothing to pump out, but he was still anemic. So they just gave him the iron, and that seems to be working according to the initial charts that you're seeing. What do you guys want to do with this body?
Aaron has a hunch that it's something supernatural, seeing as traditional tests aren't coming up with anything. Would they be able to... obviously they wouldn't be able to figure out what the name of the drug is just by looking at the guy, but would they be able to think of a way to get him awake without, causing damage or...
Make an intelligence and medicine roll, please.
Okay. Oops. That's okay, I figured it out.
You can, you can click the attribute first, you just have to fill in the, oh no, sorry, you cannot. Never mind. Click the skill first. 2. Okay. You have enough knowledge of basic medicine to know that there's probably in one of the emergency carts outside a syringe of adrenaline. And if you put that into his IV drip, not the blood bag, but the IV that's being put in for fluids, it should be enough to wake him up, since he is anemic, and since he does have issues. The adrenaline may not work as well, but it should work well enough to bring him back into consciousness. And then putting him to sleep, you're going to need some other sedative, which should also be in the cart, and you should be able to identify it by its name. It's going to be weird that he received those, but if they don't do another talk screen on him, it should be fine.
So on the end of the beds, there's usually something basic, drug administration, information, body weight, things like that.
Yep.
Would Aaron be able to accurately place enough to get him to wake up and then go back to sleep again?
Yes.
Just without administering a sedative to model things.
Oh, sorry. You're gonna need the adrenaline to wake him up.
Yeah.
But you can place just enough to bring him to consciousness, if you'd like to. The cart is just by the hall. You're not supposed to touch it, but for privacy's sake, there's no cameras in this room because the camera will be able to see all the patients. So there's no camera. You can take one from there, and they do keep records of how many have been used. There is a record on the cart itself. You can choose to fill that in, or you can choose for a vial of adrenaline to go missing. Your call.
Renee, Ash, do either of you have sticky fingers?
Would that be larceny?
Well, you can take it very easily. What needs to be done? Because it's the cart's right there. It's not. Sorry, no, the cart is locked, so you will require larceny to open it. But I'm also speaking of the record. Do you want to copy a doctor's handwriting and save it? You took one for X patient, or do you leave that blank? But it will take larceny to kind of open up the locked cabinet.
I can cover the tracks if someone can break in.
Might be able to. Maybe.
If not, I can also do it. Just let me know. Be honest. We can do this cleanly, because my way is not going to be as clean.
Let's try it clean first.
Okay.
Let's see.
So if you want to open it, it's Dex and larceny. And Aaron, if you want to replicate signatures and save it, went to a patient that probably needs it. I'll say intelligence and subterfuge to cover up.
Can I use another +2?
There are 3
this?
left. Now there will be 2 left when you use one. So go ahead.
2 left? Okay. So it's +2 die, or is it just +1?
+1 die.
+2? +1. Okay.
Okay. So Aaron's able to copy the terrible doctor's handwriting and put it onto a patient that you assume, based on the symptoms, may need it at some point. While Ash is able to take a small hairpin and very easily open the lock without destroying it. There's a satisfying click. It opens up and you take the adrenaline and you take 1 sedative. And Aaron can sort of assign that to 2 different patients. You know, the doctor might lose his job if it was wrong, but not your problem at this moment.
It'll fall on the nurses.
You go over and you administer. You already rolled earlier, won't make you do it again. You administer the adrenaline. And his eyes begin to open in about a few minutes. What's going on? Who are you?
We're here to help you, but you need to play along, okay?
You a
You're in
doctor?
the hospital right now. No,
You're a doctor.
we have 1.
I'm a
You're a
doctor.
doctor?
Oh, right. Yes. Excuse me.
What's
It's not a medical doctorate.
going on?
Same thing.
What's happening?
Do you remember taking any drugs recently?
Like in a church.
Shit. Are you cops?
No.
We look like cops.
We don't look like cops at all.
That's what a cop would say. Can one of you roll a manipulation subterfuge and take 1 extra die from the other 2 helping you?
Okay.
So basically add
I
2
can
die
do
to it.
that.
Yeah, my dice.
So
on you,
you
Renee.
subterfuge and manipulation.
Manipulation, and then I'm adding.
You have to click subterfuge first, then
Did I not?
select
I did.
manipulation. Yep, then confirm, then increase the vampire die by 2 by hitting the plus button, then roll. This is what we call a messy critical in the game. You may choose to willpower your roll and re-roll that Onquid stars, because that's what's causing the messy critical, because you cannot re-roll the fangs. But it will reduce your successes. Or you may choose to keep it and see what happens when it happens.
I guess we'll see what happens.
I think you're gonna be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more heavy-handed.
It's fine. It's fine. I can
Okay.
figure it out. Okay.
You are asking him if he's taking any drugs. He's insisting that you are cops. He doesn't want to speak. And the beast inside of you doesn't like being denied. it doesn't like when little pets, these humans, become disobedient, especially when its life is on the line, when your life is on the line. Everything you've earned to this point, everything that you are, he is putting that all at risk, and you can't have that.
Okay, you
So-
little rat, you need to listen to me.
You go.
We are not
Yeah, go ahead.
We are not cops, okay? I used to work for cops, but I was just a photographer taking photos of dead bodies, which you could have been one if you kept taking these damn drugs. Now we're trying to help you here, and we really need you to cooperate, okay? We're not working for the cops. I'm fired, okay? That was a long time ago. We're not going to tell anyone that you took drugs. We're trying to figure out why it's causing these issues. Now, if you're not going to work with us, we're going to take things a little bit more messy, okay? And that's not going to be nice for anyone, especially you. So now you just need to
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. There's something about your power that bleeds through, and the rest of you think that she may have shown her fangs for a split second there, and you're not sure if the guy caught on to it, but she was bearing them as she gives him a barrage of insults and intimidations, and he eventually agrees to it. He's probably too high to really remember anything, and Aaron knows that if you give him just a little bit more than enough of that sedative, he's probably not going to remember this anyway. But you're probably going to have to give him more than you would have liked to give him. And someone in this hospital is definitely getting fired. But he just says, okay, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. I heard from a friend that there's this really good drug that makes you feel awesome. And my wife left and took our daughter, and everything's falling apart, and I just needed something. It's called Heartbeat, and it was some guy outside a church gave us 2 pills and said to take it as soon as I leave, not to go home with it, and it just I don't know. The next thing I know, I was unconscious and I was in the hospital. They said I was anemic. I don't know what happened. I took it, and I'm just staring up in the sky, and I don't know anything else. The next thing I know, I'm already here. I don't remember anything about it. That's all, I swear.
What was the high like?
Like all my problems just left. And then nothing. I pretty excited. No, just nothing. Just like nothing mattered. Like I was free.
Interesting.
Where was the church?
In the north side, by the north center. It's along Northwestern Avenue. That abandoned church, the one that's condemned. You know, it's the one that they're trying to get funds for to rehabilitate. A bunch of junkies stay there. That's all I know. I swear.
Who told you about this place?
Word of mouth. Just guys. I heard some guys talking about it in a bar. They look pretty worse for wear too.
What bar?
It's Larry's. It's near the area.
Larry.
Couple of blocks
Larry,
across from the church.
hate that guy. I don't think this is gonna be too Asher and I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot more out of him. I'll put him back to sleep, and you'll hopefully wake up feeling a bit better. But
Before you do that, Ash looks at whoever this guy's name. Maybe his name is Jim.
There
Who knows?
is actually no name on the chart, and it's listed as all of his. There are no identifications on him, and they found him unconscious already.
Okay.
Would that make him a John Doe or something like
Yes, temporarily, because no one has
Got it.
identified him, and no one has come in to identify him.
Well, we're here, so
maybe knowing his name could be useful.
Yeah, maybe.
If we go to the church and like, hey, who sent you?
also, what's your name?
Fuck. It's Sam.
Sam. Sam.
Not Jim.
Um,
Well,
Look, I'm really
Sam.
sorry. And he just looks at Renee specifically, like he doesn't want to disappoint you any further. He's afraid of you.
Look, don't
Sam.
worry about her. That's just how she always is.
Doctor, am I gonna die?
No, don't be stupid. You're not gonna die. Just don't go taking weird drugs.
Okay.
Let this
In fact,
be
go to
a wake
therapy.
up call. Yeah. Go to therapy. Go to
I
any
reckon it's a
meeting.
whole lot cheaper and a more fulfilling than any sort of strange church drug ever will be.
And then once you're feeling better, go find your wife. Okay, bring her flowers. Bring your kids some toys.
Don't say
Don't buy
that.
any of that tacky, like gross heart-shaped jewelry. Okay, don't do that. Think of something meaningful for both of them, or with all of you, and just do better.
Or just, like
I didn't
just
know this.
be there for them instead of trying to buy their affection back. But it is
I didn't know this hospital
is.
had in-house counseling.
Aaron, yeah, I was gonna say,
Nice,
Aaron is
though.
checking their watch, like, okay,
Drug time?
we gotta cut this.
You injected?
Yeah,
Well-
we'll do a little bit of a psst.
Put a little more again than you should. It's not gonna harm him. It's gonna make this feel like a very weird lucid dream when he drifts back to sleep. And you guys,
Bullshit. With all the nice words we just said, I almost wanted to remember.
I mean, he'll remember it as a dream. Maybe he'll take it to heart. Who knows?
Oh, true.
But
Maybe.
you guys have a location. Is that where you want to head off to now? Is there something else you need to finish in the church?
I think that's where we would go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what Cecil's been doing
Cut.
this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I have fuckers back
Cutting
there
back.
that I need to see.
Cutting back, you guys decide, oh, we're going to the church. Where the hell has Cecil been? Cecil, you are on the roof of this abandoned church. You saw them walk in. There's a bunch of junkies. They're high out of their minds. What would you like to do?
Once the coast is clear, I'm gonna jump in.
Okay. It's very easy for you to just fall, land. There's a guy who looks up at you. He doesn't look like he's gonna remember you in the morning anyway, but he just puts up a cup with loose change in it. He thinks he's on the street busking. Just asking you for change.
Peter will slap the cup out of his hand and continue forward.
Dickhead.
He just
what did we
sleeps.
expect?
The door to where they went into, unsurprisingly, is locked. You can sort of very carefully twist the knob and feel the resistance without making any noise. How would you want to approach this?
Just do that. Just gently, just sort of open the door and go in.
Oh yeah, it's the knob is locked, so
Oh,
it
it's
doesn't turn
locked.
all the way. Like, do you want to try and break it? You will almost certainly make some noise if you do.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna try kicking, sort of like maybe a weak point, and just maybe get it done in one kick.
But you want to make
If I can.
noise.
Yes.
This is a pretty old door. I will not make you roll for this. You take your foot, and the wood just splinters open and breaks apart. It opens up, and there are people panicking. One guy goes up. He looks to you. Says, "Hey, what the fuck? You can't be in here.
Mate, I'm exactly where I need to fucking be. Sit down.
He looks at you. I want you to try and make a strength and intimidation. So you click your intimidation first. The specialty will not apply because you're not robbing him yet.
Yet.
Intimidation, then strength.
Yeah, I got it.
That's a messy. Would you like to keep that messy critical?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
Wonderful.
you're gonna turn this man into confetti.
He looks to you, and then he goes up to you, and he actually pulls out a gun. Small, which you have all been told is something you don't use. Because it draws too much attention, it causes too much noise. But he pulls out like a snub-nosed 38 revolver. It's a basic gun. He goes up to you and says, "What? Fuck off, you're the one trespassing on our territory." And it's like, nah, you're not having that. This little shit that you can clearly tell has some color in his skin, breathing. Fuck that, he's pulling a gun on you, you grab his hand and then you snap it like a twig. It snaps into a 90-degree angle, both bones protrude from the skin. He drops the gun and screams in pain, but you don't like that either. He's screaming, that's so annoying. So you punch him right in the solar plexus to literally knock all the wind out of him and just a little bit of blood. You probably collapsed a rib. It's probably pressing on a lung, but he can't scream anymore. And he shuts up.
Yeah, I'll sort of grab his hand, like his fingers are probably all gouged up, and we'll try and point the gun sort of loosely at his head, be like, "Go ahead, pussy, pull the trigger. I'm right here. I'm right fucking here. Go ahead, do it. Do it." And once he's had enough, he's just gonna let go.
Yep. You do see, for a moment, when you do this, it feels good to let the monster out, not resist it. But you also see, you're not the only monster. He has tiny little fangs inside his mouth. Smaller than yours. Much smaller than yours. But they're fangs. But that doesn't make sense because when you punched him, you felt the warmth of his body. You felt wind get knocked out of him, and yet he does have these fangs on him. And he starts crying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll sort of go up to him and kneel down and say, "What are you?"
You call Thin blood.
I see. What's a little thin blood like you doing in this shithole of a church?
We're just trying to survive.
You're doing an awful fucking job of that, mate. Look where you are now.
Frank! The fuck's going on there? You hear someone else's voice. You have been educated on Finblood, Cecil. They are not covered by the right of destruction, meaning you do not need anyone's permission to kill them. But if you're looking for information, you can.
Cool. Is Frank right here, or where
Frank is the guy here. Like, there's another guy calling out to him. Frank is the guy you just maimed.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to just simply walk past Frank and just sort of like a crushed spider.
He's trying to say something, but he can't warn his buddy. And another guy comes in. Dark red hair, the guy you saw bring the man in. What do? What the fuck? Who are you?
I look towards Frank and then look at him. I asked questions and I didn't get the answer I wanted. You're little buddy Frank here tried putting a gun at me, so unless you want to end up like him, I suggest we just calm the fuck down.
Make another strength and intimidation. And see if this goes any better.
Boop, 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 boop.
Did you do it again?
No messy. No, it is a regular 6 successes. Okay, he's not moving. He is paralyzed with fear because he realizes he's facing a full-blooded kindred and a strong one at that. Fuck. Okay, I'll answer whatever you want. Just don't fucking hurt me. She just sits down on the bench.
Okay, first off, what's those blue pill shit you're... Whatever, where's that come from? What's the deal with that?
We make them. We figured out how to make them. Makes people do what we want, and we feed on them. Only when we're hungry.
Only when we're hungry. Are you trying to take over the business here?
No, we're just trying to feed. We can't do it like you do.
Do it like I do. Oh wow, so you need to compensate by drugging the population and make them bend to your will? Well, us fucking kindred, we do shit practically. We take our hands and get messy, while you guys, you're trying to pump the system and make it your bitch. That's our bitch, okay? So, stop whatever shit this is and just tell me straight up, who is your leader?
We don't have one. We just set up shop here because it was abandoned. No one was looking at it. I can take you to the stuff.
Please, take me to it.
He will walk. Now, the amount of time it took for Cecil to get from Succubus Club to here, walking back towards the hospital and backtracking following, that will cover right around the enough amount of time it takes for the rest of you to have gone in the hospital, do some stuff, and then drive here. Which means, while Cecil is being brought to the basement of his church, the three of you walk in, assuming you want to. The door is open and this is a church for drug addicts and things no one really calls trespass anymore. When you walk in, it is not a pretty place. It is in disrepair. It has been abandoned. There's a giant hole in the roof. And there's a bunch of drug addicts here, but there's a door that's been kicked in the back. And even for a place in disrepair, that's not normal. When you head towards that door, the three of you see a guy with his arm bent to this 90-degree angle, bone protruding out. And he's just in horrible pain.
Can I take a picture?
Is... Sure. He is... You take a Polaroid. He is in horrible pain. But he is breathing. And he is warm. And he is bleeding. Something you don't do when you were injured. Even when they pulled the wooden stake out of your chest, you didn't bleed out. Blood didn't flow. His is. And yet, as he writhes and screams in pain, you all notice the fangs on his mouth. And you have all been told of what a fin blood is. And you've also been told they're not allowed to live.
I believe this is a thin blood. Do we think this is Cecil's work, or is there a third party?
I mean, he did say that he would, like, you know, smash things and, you know, look at that door.
What did he even tell you guys before he went off and did his own thing?
He didn't say anything.
Would Cecil have said nothing? He just said, see ya.
Nothing. He was just going... The original plan was that he was going to go out, just get the drug, blood, and then just go back, but that's he's just gone without a word.
Okay.
Ash says he was in a pretty bad spot when he woke up. So
Please,
Like,
maybe it was just
I'll leave town. I don't want to die. Please. I didn't ask to be this.
you'll
I'm
be
just
fine.
trying to survive. I didn't ask. I didn't want this.
Take that up with your sire. But regardless, you'll be fine. You'll regenerate it. Just don't scream. I think they went further in.
should
Frank,
should
oh
one of us
God.
set his arm?
Hmm?
I was gonna
That-
say should one of us set his arm?
Well, that requires pushing the bone back in at the right angle.
Why does it matter? This is
Or we could just
likely
take
who.
the bone out.
Gee, good lord. This is likely the one, at least one of the one who is on our territory feeding when they shouldn't. Now, I think we should take them all in and let the Camarilla do what they do. We don't need to be the ones to kill them, and perhaps they might find it Wild West to take in a bounty. Maybe we get more favor.
Well, we could call someone.
No.
Remember,
Don't call-
if
Don't call
these
any-
are the ones responsible for what's happening, your orders for to deal with it. If they are the ones responsible.
We'll figure it out. Just if Ash, if you want, you can stay with him. You'll cover the door. I think there's some noise in the next room. We need to.
Now,
Someone is already here.
while you guys are here, talking about your next steps, let's say, you do hear the sound of a shotgun from below. And we cut back to Cecil. You are brought down by this terrified kindred. And you walk down. And it says, Jake, shoot him! And then a shotgun blast fires at you. And you are going to roll your dexterity and your athletics, and because you have rapid reflexes, you suffer no penalty from dodging bullets.
Mhm.
Even a slug.
Cool.
Two successes. The fin blood does not hit you. You dodge the shotgun slug just barely, destroys whatever coat you were wearing, it kind of shoots through it. And now there's two of them. But what else you see here is an elaborate laboratory. Much more elaborate than yours. It has beakers and test tubes, it has shelves of odd ingredients, strange things bottled up. It has Bunsen burners, small little gas burners. It is a very strange, overly exaggerated Breaking Bad situation in here. But one of them has a shotgun and tried to shoot you. The other one has left or run away from you, scrambling for a weapon. What would you like to do?
Cecil will immediately rush the thin blood with the shotgun. He will grab it from their hands. Can he snap it in half? Does he have the strength to do that?
You could if you can get it. So it is strength and brawl for you.
Cool. Okay. There we go.
And the unfortunate Finblood is going to try, emphasis on try, to resist you. And your 7 successes. Actually, no, he can resist you if he rolls nothing but crit. Let's see. He rolls nothing. So the Jake, the kindred with the shotgun, tries to pump it again, pump action. He fires, he pumps, you grab onto him with your speed, you take it out of his hand, and you snap the shotgun in half. And he just looks terrified. Meanwhile, yeah?
Yeah.
Because
Oh no,
yeah.
So after this, I'm going to aim to grab the sharp end of like the barrel probably, and I'm going to try and slam it into his mouth. Just shove it directly into him.
Right. You will be able to do that as much as you can, because that is a margin of 7-1. That is 6 damage. And Finbloods are not the hardiest creature. They take damage like humans. So when you shove into his mouth, you see all the teeth just kind of go in there. And he starts crying out in pain. Now as you do this, the other guy is going to take one of the guns out, and he's going to try and shoot you again. You may try to dodge this one.
Cool. Can I try and put the body in between us? Or the person I just stabbed in between us as well? Or is that...
You can try with your dexterity and athletics.
Cool. What was it to roll again? Sorry?
Dexterity and athletics.
Cool. There we go.
Three. Okay. Let's see. He doesn't have a bad pool for this. He doesn't have a good roll for this either. So he does fire off his gun. Now, there's the second gunshot to come across in this place. By the time you guys get down, you'll see what happens. You are down this room. I'm assuming all of you go. There is a -2 again, or whatever the next roll is. I did not see that before I made Cecil roll, so it'll be the next roll. But the 3 of you come downstairs. I'm assuming you just leave Frank up there. Oh, you leave. You stay with Frank.
Stay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stay with Frank, and I'll watch and listen for like police sirens, anyone coming in and out of the building.
2 of you come down. You look, you see. Cecil has, there's like a half shotgun. There's a guy with a shotgun's barrel shoved into his throat that's choking him. And then Cecil shoves that same guy in front as the other guy fires his gun and hits him square in the chest. Hits his own friend. What would the 2 of you like to do?
Well, I'm taking a picture. That's a good scene.
There's no one else in the room.
Nope, the 2 of them, Cecil, and then the 2 of you. Ash is upstairs. A picture has been taken.
Does the guy...
There are 4
across the
+2s
room-
and 1 negative. There's
Does
only
the
one
guy
guy
across
that's a
the room
threat. He has a gun. They haven't noticed the 2 of you yet. They're too busy looking at the fact that they shot their own friend.
I'm gonna rouse
Okay.
to use Scorpion's Touch to see if I can bite the inside of my cheek and then spit a
Great. You can go to Scorpion's Touch and then just roll the D10 icon on the left of the label of the name Scorpion's Touch. It'll roll the rouse with it.
Got you.
Okay. The strength and blood sorcery, that is more than enough. Then do dexterity and athletics. He will not dodge because he still hasn't noticed you. He's too busy mourning the friend that he just shot, while Renee takes a photo of this entire scene in a Polaroid. Dexterity and athletics. There's no dodge, so you just need the 1. Okay. You bite the inside of your cheek. It doesn't hurt like it should when a fang comes in. Some blood goes into your mouth as you're walking towards him, and you spit in his face, and it starts burning parts of his skin off. Ah, fuck! Ah! He drops the gun, and he starts writhing in some pain. Ah, fuck! Ah!
That's another good photo.
He's grabbing onto his face. Meanwhile, while you're all here and you've incapacitated these 2, Ash, you are stuck with Frank, who's starting to get some air back into his lungs. He's having trouble breathing. Please, just let me go. I don't want to die. I won't come back. I won't go back to the city. Please. We've been starving for months. We have no way of eating. Our fangs don't pierce the skin. No one told us what we are. Everyone we knew is dead. Please. Everyone who could help us is dead. We're just trying to survive. We didn't want this.
If it were just me, I would let you go.
Please
But we're
don't.
just trying to survive too.
Don't. I won't come back. You can tell them you killed me. I won't come back. I'll never come back.
And like, there's now blood starting to run down Ash's face.
His blood is still water. Oh, sorry, his tears are still water. Yours is blood. Arguably, he's more human than you are. Now, this whole anemia thing, the fact of the matter is, it is a problem. But they haven't killed anyone. And people have been getting better simply by getting some iron in them. And while people have been going to the hospital, not everyone has. They haven't necessarily done anything morally too egregious, and no more than you the last week alone. On the other hand, your life is on the line, very literally.
And the rest of the coteries.
Yep. And technically, so are your sires. And while you may not like her very much, she did save your life, so to speak. And she may have answers you still need. Still, who's to say you didn't kill him if you just let him run? As far as you know, you were told kindred turned to ash. You saw ashes on the stage when the prince beheaded that guy. Burned a little wood. Say it's his body.
Do I know if that's how Thin Bloods perish?
You weren't taught that. You just know what you know about kindred perishing. On the other hand, you also know that the seneschal is supposedly capable of seeing through lies, unless you lie very well.
Which Ash does not.
But it's also a matter of how you say the truth. You have a choice to make, because your friends aren't going to be in that basement for long.
I feel like
mean, it's dealt with if they aren't doing drugs, or if they aren't making drugs anymore.
I feel like just in the spirit of us playing a tabletop, I feel like I need to roll for it, because Ash is really torn.
Sure, there is a roll that you can do, which is resolve and composure. This time you pick any one of those and then select the other one.
Wait.
So it's both attributes. So pick select
Okay.
resolve or composure, and then
Okay.
the other attribute you fill in with the other ability.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, choose one and then
Oh,
pick
yeah,
the other
sorry.
one. I'm like, wait, what?
Select one,
Okay.
then fill in the other. To make the roll, then you just roll and see what happens. 2. This roll represents self-control.
Just split again.
What this essentially means is, at the moment, you know exactly what's going to happen. If you let him go, there's a very high chance you will die, and there's a very high chance they're gonna kill him anyway.
Mhm.
They wiped out your entire identity in the course of 12 hours.
Yeah.
They replaced all of the police records. This amount of power is not something you are capable of going against. You heard from your sire of the Anarch movement, the kindred that go against the Camarilla, and last night you saw the last of them turn to ashes. You know what's gonna happen. As for the choice in the matter, you don't have to be the one that does it. Cecil's more than happy to do it from what it looks like.
I feel like in this moment, because like the emotion is so high and that this is sort of like, I don't know, a test for her, and if she's able to do this and live in this world. Do I know if thin bloods can die like humans, like from blood loss?
You're not sure. You know that most of them are basically human plus. You know that most of them, however, are also functionally immortal with age. It would be logical to assume that they will torpor just like you if you got drained of all your blood. He's growing paler.
I think then Ash will, she does have knives. I think she like shakily takes a knife out, and while is still crying blood tears, says, I don't want to do this, but it's not just me.
He's just crying to
And
himself.
as much as it's the right thing for me to do, I don't want to die.
Oh, please, oh, please,
And she cuts his carotid artery.
He slowly bleeds out. Blood spills all over the floor. You're at hunger 1. That doesn't affect you too much, but his blood does smell disgustingly good to you.
I'm
And
sorry.
he bleeds out, but it's not too painful because he just passes out. His body goes pale. It's dead. But is it? Or is it torpor? There's no way for you to tell, but his body stops breathing. Now, before we get back to the others, this goes into some issues. Does Ash personally consider, despite everything he's done, this person to be innocent? Despite everything he's done, do you consider him innocent?
Yes.
Then, on the little blood icon on your sheet, there's a humanity track. I am going to give you a stain you will have to deal with. I've already marked it. You will roll that the next time you wake up. And whatever's happened to him weighs on your conscience. Meanwhile, in the basement, one guy has his skin going off and it's starting to rot like necrosis. The other guy has a shotgun barrel in his throat, horribly injured and can't do anything, and he collapses to the ground after getting shot at. The 3 of you see a laboratory, an elaborate one. This goes beyond meth and regular drugs. This goes beyond Breaking Bad shit. This is strange as strange can get. There's an industrial freezer filled with blood bags. Whole blood, freshly donated from Red Cross. Or at least they would be. But it looks like they're repurposing blood bags.
Cecil, wait, don't kill this last one. We need to wrap up all loose ends. We need to make sure there isn't any group outside of this one. And this one might be willing to speak.
Oh, Aaron, you see him sort of shake the blood off. You are so naive if you think I'm just gonna kill him.
Come on, man.
He's
just
choking on the shotgun. The other guy still has your blood on his face. Fuck. And he's got no weapons. He crawls himself back into a corner. That one you spit on is probably the one that can still talk. This guy's throat has been crushed by this shotgun's pipe.
And I'm gonna take a picture of that guy.
Number 4.
Cecil's gonna walk up and sort of grab his throat, but not choke him. Just sort of basically grapple him.
The guy has been spit on. So you grab him up. He just looks at all of you like, what do you do?
Okay, Aaron.
You have a whole freezer full of blood here. This isn't just this is more than 3 Thin Bloods need.
We stockpile them from the people who come in. We use them. He gestures for this. We need them to make pill. We need them to do the things we do.
Do you have a recipe around here for this pill? Is this something that I'm unfamiliar with that you need to elaborate on, or?
It's Thin Blood stuff. It's the. We call it alchemy.
And you're the only group here performing it in this domain.
Everyone else is dead.
Renee, do you have any questions? First, before I have mine.
No, you go ahead.
If you can, please grab all this stuff and put it in a Tupperware container or something like that. Take an example. We need to destroy this, I think. But not all of it.
Destroy it? Okay. I'm glad we're a little bit on the same page with that.
Cecil, you're not gonna fucking take this.
Oh, no. This would be way too stupid of me to take myself, but it would very much go to waste if we were to just let all this research die out. Wouldn't you agree? And the person he's holding, he'll try to get the Thin Blood to shake its head, but unwillingly.
You shake him up. At this point, you guys know all this Thin Blood alchemy. You can't use it. Can't do anything with what they've given you. What's here, it's useless to you. It's something for whatever reason only they can actually do. But it's also illegal. This stuff does need to be destroyed as it pertains to the alchemy. However, all the equipment that's here, the stuff they use to do the alchemy, that's fair game. If Cecil decides to take all of the important stuff and take some moments to, rent a truck or just have it packed up in the boxes, because they look like they made this stuff mobile, this will increase your laboratory dot by 1 for free if you take all the equipment, and will allow you to create more than you normally could. But as it pertains to the alchemy, you're not allowed to keep those, and you can't really use them either. Destroying them is more so other thin bloods don't spread it around. Would you like to pack up their equipment? Because they do come with containers. They look like they made this place into a mobile base.
See, so this drug, it's thin blood origin. To peddle it just like they would put a huge target on our back. Think of the future. Don't think of the now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We can take the equipment though, right? That's fair game, innit?
Sure, whatever. You, the man.
The other guy
I'm sorry.
The other guy has bled out, and his body falls limp. This one just looks at you, crying.
Renee, I want you to make sure that this one is telling the truth. You're a much better talker than me. I'll work on destroying the stuff. Now, please take pictures later. You're done.
Okay. First of all, yeah, he's not lying anymore. He looks exactly as Renee expects a defeated man to look. He's out. And he's given up. He's just afraid to die. You've seen that look on 1,000 faces. Fear, terror. Makes for a great painting. However, while you guys do your cleanup, before I get back to Ash for one thing real quick, do any of you consider any of them innocent?
Aaron wouldn't consider them innocent.
No.
No.
The idea that they're peddling drugs and they're
Okay.
doing
That's
it in a vulnerable, and they're biting off more than they can chew. That's not
Right.
innocent.
That is fine then. You were fine. While you're doing the cleanup, you decide what to do with the three of them. Ash, when his life leaves his body, I'm assuming you haven't completely followed the others yet, but since you are in the back quarters, there's a door open. It's a room where a priest would normally stay. You see a crucifix hang in the wall. You see the image of Christ on that crucifix. And you feel as though you're not welcome here. Like the image is staring into your lack of a soul, admonishing you for your crimes, punishing you, and you feel the overwhelming urge to leave. Just get out of the church. You're not welcome. It might be disrepaired, but this is still hollow ground. Leave. You are a demon. You are not welcome here. You are a monster, and you've just proven it. Do you leave? Or do you use your willpower and force yourself to stay, not showing weakness to your coterie?
I think Ash is too much of a mess right now to try and push through it. Like, she just keeps like saying I'm sorry and is like looking at his body like over and over again like he's still alive. She's just a wreck right now.
So you'll
I
choose to
think
leave.
she you know, haphazardly takes the knife and like wipes the blood off of it on the thin blood's like clothes, and like tries to wipe the blood tears from her face, probably very messily, and just goes outside.
So
Yeah.
I will remove the willpower from your block,
Okay.
because
Okay.
now you've chosen to not enter anymore. You have chosen to leave it, but you now feel it. Doesn't matter how religious you were. This place, you're not welcome here anymore. Whatever power is there, Maybe it's your own conscience telling you. But you don't belong here. You cannot enter here without forcing yourself to enter. And even then, it'll be very uncomfortable. When the rest of you are done, you come back upstairs. The guy that you left behind, Frank, throat's been cut at the carotid, and he's bled out completely. He's also dead. The guy with the shotgun, Jake, bled out from the shotgun pipe. You can also take that out of his body, and you'll probably want to grab the shotgun and burn it somewhere so that it doesn't leave any evidence. You've packed up the stuff, and I'm assuming you follow through on the orders and destroy the fin blood stuff. So all that's left here...
Sorry, what about the person I was choking? Like,
that's the one that's still conscious. You guys have him tied up, I assume. Probably gagged. Unless you'd like to kill him too, which you're technically supposed to. You have all the knowledge now.
After we got all the information, everything done, Cecil will chokeslam him to the floor and just very swiftly stomp on his skull. Yeah.
A very messy way to end him, but he is verifiably dead. Now, the other two are still bodies. You have fin blood stuff that you're destroying. If you'd like to clean this up quickly, it's not unreasonable to assume that the drug place catches fire.
I've been thinking about that this entire time. I'm like,
It'll
we should just
fix all your problems. And Cecil's already packed up all of the stuff that you want. They are in large containers which you can tie to yourself and carry around. Upgrade your lab.
There are multiple humans that are in fact innocent in the main stay. So
they are not so high that they won't leave when they sense a fire.
Okay. That was my I thought of a fire too, and that was my main concern, is that they were fucking burned to death.
Well, I didn't think of that. I just thought fire.
They aren't so high that they're not gonna leave when they start smelling smoke. You're fairly confident they're gonna run out of, especially if you don't blockade the door, because the smoke's gonna start in the basement and it's gonna burn upwards. The floor is made of stone and cement, so it won't give in. They're going to be able to run. In fact, if you start a fire in this basement, it's probably going to be contained in this basement and slum upper floors, but it's not even going to take the whole church down. Although they're probably going to need more donations to fix it now. Do you want to start a fire?
Yes.
Not hard. There's Bunsen burners and gas here. It will very much look like an accident.
Cecil, have we grabbed everything we need? I have a sample of the drug that I will present to hopefully prove my matter to the Seneschal. I got that the lab test. It should also be good evidence to, show just their span. I think I've covered all. I've dotted my I's. I've crossed my T's. Could I do a roll to make sure I'm not missing anything that's
that is important? Intelligence and subterfuge.
Okay. Just in case there'd be anything worth taking to the Seneschal to help bolster, to show that we did everything we could to make sure it was all wrapped up nicely. Oh, I'm thinking about willpowering that just to confirm.
What did you get? I didn't see. 2. Okay.
A 2. I don't know if that'd be enough. Yeah, we'll just rock it. Who cares? We'll just rock it.
Okay. You've done as much cleanup as you can. To the best of your ability. Setting this place on fire is the last bit of it. You can make it look like a Bunsen burner exploded. They're drug addicts making their own drugs. Fires will happen. They're messing around with stuff that they probably shouldn't. And with the fire, no one's going to be able to tell how much equipment actually was here. Because Cecil doesn't have to take everything. He just needs to take what he doesn't have. Everything else can stay. So, you can start the fire. You head upstairs and you see the body. You toss him into? Like, just casually throw him into the basement?
I'd imagine.
Right? The blood here... People bleed. It's a pretty dark place. There's dried blood everywhere in this place. You leave. What does Ash look like when you guys finally reunite? How do you look after you spent maybe 2 minutes outside? And by outside, I don't mean in the street necessarily, you don't want to be there, but like the side alley of the church, the darker alley.
Yeah. I think Ash is like kind of like curled up, like knees to chest, in like with her back like resting up against the nearest wall, and she's just like holding the knife.
You guys know who did that last kill?
Cecil.
And she just like wildly looks at you guys when you come out. Like,
Cecil will approach and say, "Holy shit! I will just say, as much as we don't get along, congrats on your first blood. That shit takes balls, and man, you made a clean cut on his throat. That bitch did not survive long enough."
I know, that was the point.
Well, congrats,
Anything
actually.
Don't fucking congratulate me.
Cecil, maybe you should just stop talking for just one moment.
Well, I say
It is
we did.
quite incessant.
We got the job done. I don't understand we have to sob about it. Like, we did good. We stopped the shit. We stopped these people peddling drugs. Like,
I'm
Cecil,
sorry that you feel so fucking comfortable killing someone who is crying and begging for their own life, who is just trying to survive like any of us.
Don't need to grapple on it, Cecil.
Congratulations.
oh, I'm sorry you feel bad about it, but I guess we have our own ways of coping. And he'll sort of stoop below and just stop.
It's early in the evening. It's only midnight. You guys solved this in an impressive amount of time.
Or speedy.
Would you like to head to where you were told to go once it's over? Which is actually to the University of Chicago, Prince Jackson's personal domain.
I'm just gonna sit there and wait for Ash. Just be there for her.
It's on the way. Our coterie, right? Or not our coterie, our club's on the way.
No, you're going all the way south side to get there.
Oh.
But you do have vehicles that were provided to you. You can use any of them. The three of you had a car that you used to go here.
I was gonna say, I imagine there's a bike and then our car 3.
Yep.
Cecil, we'll pack away the stuff in the car. We'll deliver it back to the nightclub. You can head back or join us at the university. It's whatever you want. I just recommend you don't go along with us.
I don't think I'm gonna go.
Not that you
either.
could even.
I need
Well, Cecil,
a second.
that just won't
Yeah,
do.
sorry.
You did, as far as you're concerned, most of this work. You can't have them take the credit for this.
No, I think I kind of did all the handiwork here, and as much as I'll admit I stirred the pot, I kind of twist a knife, but I think I deserve my fair share in this.
We're a coterie. We work together. We'll give you your due. You did well. We also did our part as well. You didn't see it. You weren't at the hospital. Regardless, it. So are you coming or not?
I'm coming.
He can go.
I just
Ash, what
hang
was
out in
that?
the car.
I need to take a walk. It's fine.
So you're not going.
No.
Okay.
Where does Ash go?
She goes to the midnight market.
Bit of a walk from where you are, but you head over.
If there's time in the night.
Still early.
If the store's still open. Yeah, the store's still open. She'll watch Tabitha through the windows in there. If not, she'll go on a fire escape that is near Tabitha's apartment and look in and just...
The store is not open because it's midnight, but she is in there, and there's a window where you can view her from. She has put a small little altar, or a remembrance of you, a portrait of you and her, 2 candles, some incense, a few sages that she burns, some of the crystals that you liked so much placed there for you. And she puts there, you reach there just in time for her to put a deck of tarot cards that she was working on for you, hand painted individually, that she just leaves there in front. Do you have anything in the way of heightened senses?
No, I have Sense the Unseen.
It's a matter of, can you hear through the glass window outside, but you don't hear what she says.
I don't think so, no.
Just put something in front and just quietly mourns you and just sits there for a few hours before she heads off to bed, and you can watch her. The one thing that you do notice when she puts the deck in is that she finally completed it, and she bothered to finish it, hand painting all of the tarot cards that she places in front of this little memorial she's given you, and it's inside a box within the wall. And when she's finally done, closes the box, kisses her fingers, puts it over on the box, and a small tear comes out. Probably cried all she can this whole time. Just one last one. She's ready to say goodbye. Even if you're not. The rest of you, you head to Southside. You head to Hyde Park, where the University of Chicago is. Something Aaron's familiar with and probably shouldn't be the one in the driver's seat. But there's an entrance you've been told of. It opens. You are greeted by the sheriff and the seneschal. The seneschal, the blonde man, platinum, slick back. This is a surprise. I trust you have come here with good news,
They are... all of them dead. No more problems.
As is the rule of the prince, but tell me, who is dead and what are they, and what were they doing?
Some
As
piece of
you
shit thin blood.
speak, you will, all of you, feel a pressure in your head. He's reading into your thoughts. Do any of you resist? Or do you choose to let it in?
No.
No
Okay.
need.
You say thin bloods. He says, they're all dead. Completely. Not just Topa. Correct?
They can't breathe, they can't bleed, and they certainly can't talk ever again. I'd say that's dead.
He closes his eyes.
To be more
Thaya.
specific.
Write the location of the fire down for the sheriff. That will need to be cleaned up, but that is not your responsibility. You have done exactly as the princess asked of you. You have done faster than anyone believed you could. Most impressive. I've been authorized by the prince to reward you with what he has promised. He is currently out on business. But as a decree, and then he looks at a man with very long brown hair. It's neatly tucked away, but not tied in any way. It's just loose and very straight, very beautiful looking. Handsome looking man with dark skin. This is Brett. He is the herald of the prince. He will make sure that everyone in the city will be aware that you are no longer fledglings, and in record time for this city, you are now neonates, the newest member of our society. Congratulations. Your sires are no longer responsible for you. You are now responsible of yourselves, and the heaven the prince has promised you is now yours. You have not disappointed this evening. Keep it up, and there will be great heights for you to climb within the Camarilla. You may go. I suggest you start looking for staff for your club. It will be unbecoming of your station to man it yourselves. Lets you go, and the man that he was talking to, Brett, bows. Everyone shall be informed this evening. Good job. And he leaves for a different exit.
Here's all the documentation. Just before, just before we get pushed out the door, Aaron's gonna put down some papers that have been written on notes, and they're gonna be like, Renee, put some of those photos here. And then
I'm assuming Renee took
well.
multiple copies, so you have one for yourself and one to give.
Yeah.
I don't know how litigious the Camarilla is, but this is all the documents that I received.
And the documentation are useful. Of course, they are to be burned after being reviewed. Good work.
Yes, you can keep them if yes.
He hands them. He looks at the photo in particular. A masterful display of violence. He just...
it's a tiny bit more messy than I thought it'd be, but... oh well.
Your clan is known for its messes, but at least you know where to put it. That already puts you above most of your clan. That was a bit weird. My computer just decided to give up. We apologize for anything that was missed. Hopefully everyone's still here with us. We'll give it a second for everyone to catch up. I believe we're live again. We'll give it. We should be. Okay. So that was odd, but it did crash. We're back. It's fine. Nothing happened. But in the meantime, to return to what we were talking about, you guys are let out, and however you feel about it, you were given your congratulations. You were given your flowers, so to speak. You were told that you have done well, and you're allowed to leave. On the other hand, Ash, at some point in this evening, you're gonna have to leave. And you know that. You can't just stay here and linger. The longer you stay, the more you might get caught. But because of your obfuscate, you just need to stand still and you will never be seen. And it's never been easier to do that. You don't move or blink or anything. You're perfectly still. But at some point you go. because you can't just stay here till the sun rises. You just fought for your life, no point in losing it now. As you leave, you are approached. Unknown man. Bald. Dark olive tanned skin. Very long beard. Elderly. But still standing. Still vibrant and alive. You are new to all of this, aren't you? I don't keep up with the modern... I don't keep up with most of what happens these evenings. But I can tell when someone is new. He hands you an envelope with a wax seal. It has a stylized C on that seal. If you would like to learn to survive, to learn more than you normally, and he hands you the envelope.
She takes it.
And he walks away from you. And as he walks away from you, he disappears. Vanishes in front of your very eyes. And the way he says what he says, it sounds like he's specifically talking about you and how you feel about being what you are. It feels like he's pointedly talking about how to live in this world and not lose who you are. And he feels powerful and old. Do you open the envelope?
Yeah.
Break the seal. Open the envelope, and it has a few simple words and an address and an instruction to burn it once you've memorized the address. The words are: you are cordially invited to the Eternal Academy to learn to be free and live as you unlive. And a location is set. The back of the letter says "burn" when read.
Like, I put it on the ground and burn it because fire's scary.
You can go to like a nearby ashtray and just sort of put it there until it burns on its own. And then you leave.
Don't worry.
But you know the address.
Okay.
It is deep in the south side in Washington Heights. You don't know what's there, but you know the streets. You remember what was said. And you can go there if you like, but you've received an invitation. You don't know what it is. You know he was kindred. You know that he is powerful, and he's very, very old. And you probably don't want to cross him. But you have been invited, as far as you can tell anyway. So whether your curiosity takes you there in the following evening, or this evening even, because again, it is very early in the evening. You guys did quickly and well. You will have to decide that. But given it's late and we've gone a little over, combined 12 hours, we will pause our story there. Thank you for everyone who's still here and watching, because something happened. We will stitch these two videos up for the VOD, but thank you for everyone who's joined us. And before we go, each of you, why don't you introduce yourselves and the characters you have been playing and where people can find you? George Lee, you can start.
Hi, I'm George Lee, and you can find me at George Lee with 2 eyes on Instagram and YouTube and Twitch.
And Captain?
I am Cap'n. I live in a cave, so I do not have any socials as always. Instead, you can look at the. Hold on, I had it up here.
Yep. What album do you got for us?
Let me find. The Black Album by Metallica is pretty good. It's a classic one.
Solid.
Okay. And while you're doing that, Petra.
Well, my name is Petra. I played Cecil in quite the violent way today, but you can follow me at PetraPika H as in Hunter X Hunter on Instagram, all lowercase. And I also live in a cave, aka the UK. So, yeah.
Shig, if you'd like to be found.
Yeah, I'm Shig. I do want to be found. I still haven't been found yet. You can find me at Discord at shig._. Instagram at Manascona, or on Twitch at the Chonky Bird, which I stream absolutely rarely. So, no point in that.
I've been your storyteller. Sorry for the little hiccup there. Not a big deal. We will be back again next week to continue, potentially this evening if anyone else has something they'd like to do. They still have a few hours before sunrise. Thank you for watching our stream. Thank you for watching me torment one of these players into an existential crisis once more. Just like in Blade Runner. The others will be feeling their pain at some point. You know, everyone's got a turn. We'll be back at the same time next week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Cybernation Uncensored.